Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're listening to the sWo podcast. So all my sneakerheads, what you gonna do when the sneaker world order runs wild on you? Tune in every Wednesday with Ashley Clark, ACS Sneakers, Patrick Townsend, and Blazer Reggie. Enjoy the show, brother.
Hi and welcome to another episode of the Sneaker World Order. So this week we have a very special guest. We've got a creative mind, as it were, in Cami Ford. So Cami, if you could shout out your bits.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Sneaker designer, Cami Ford, and my Instagram is Cami Ford. That's pretty much what I'm rolling on today, and let's drop some heat.
Go on, and Pat.
Yeah, wicked. My name's Patrick T on YouTube, Patrick T for real. On Insta, YouTuber, sneaker lover. I won't say sneaker, whatever they call it, but I just like sneakers, so that's me.
Reggie, when he gets off his phone.
I'm sorry, when y'all told me the news, I'm trying to save it and save it in my files and stuff. I'm trying to look at that for motivation. But it's me, man. The New Balance Prince, Blazer Reggie, aka the guy, the myth, the legend, aka I made it on a cover on a popular Instagram story. Don't really matter. We're on to this right now. It's me, Blazer Reggie. You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube as Blazer Reggie. I'm feeling superstar status right now, but okay.
It's because you the GOAT, bro.
So there we go. Aiden will be popping along. Aiden from ACS Sneakers. He'll shout out his bits when he's finishing his tea. Let's get into it as we do every week. So first and foremost, Cami, this is how we like to start it. Should have told you before we started recording. What's on feet today? So what did you wear today?
Today I am wearing some Air Force Ones. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't wearing it.
I think everyone's taking their shoes off their feet right now.
Everyone's taking their shoes off, like.
Just my beaters today though. I'm actually at the house. Beaters.
Ooh.
Whoa.
No, don't put it. Bring them back.
No,
bring them back. Bring them back.
Trust me, they're beaters. Trust me, they're beaters.
Let's bring them back. Bring them back.
I cut the grass in these beaters.
We don't care. We like to see.
Let me try and cover up some of it. Here we go. Boom.
Ooh.
Bam.
Did you design those?
Yeah.
Excuse me. What the fuck? Did you create that?
Yeah, I made it. Yeah.
See, I'm on superstar status, so I think you should send me a free pair. Right? Sponsor that.
I got you about that, but see, I can't do it.
He said no politely.
He said no very politely. He'll give you a discount code.
I have one today, my beaters.
He'll give you a discount code, but that's still going to be more than you can afford.
No, but the crazy thing about it though, my prices are not that high. Like I promised they're not.
How much you charge?
All right. Well, I suppose I'll have to follow anyway, now.
Like 200 and 100 for the ones, and then 100 for the work. That's it. Boom.
Reggie, that's small change for you, man.
200, Reggie. Get yourself some custom ones. Get yourself some custom ones that say Blazer Reggie along the side, sWo on the other side. I love it.
No. I got some in my mind that I would like to get off, but yeah, I will talk to you later then. If that's
if you think that's something, stay tuned for this interview.
Woo! That's gonna be in the promo.
Like
that is on the promo.
Go on then, Pat. What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Yeezy Slate 450s.
Look at this. And he says he's not a hype beast.
No,
nice.
I've wanted
Fear of God hat, Yeezy 450s.
Cammy, the man got off-whites.
He's not a hype beast. I ain't gonna judge you. I got your back. You just a fine collector.
Thank you.
You like collecting shoes.
Cammy, he has the latest Virgil off-white.
Just gonna say,
He has one of them.
Listen, you know what is,
Kind
yeah?
of hard to defend you on this right now.
Say that again.
It's kind of hard to defend you on that with them
Yeah,
legacy
yeah.
on
He's
flight.
got the dunk low. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No,
Thank-
you know, let's be honest, and we agree this. If you hit on Adidas confirmed,
Yep.
you
Mhm.
feel like you've done all right. I did.
No, good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it is. Second resale, I wouldn't have them. That's it. But I hit, and so there you go. That's my story done. No more stories.
And you know
Okay,
what?
it's valid.
You know what's upsetting about that? See, I work for Adidas, and I didn't hit on them.
Oh, that's tough.
But I know when a pair fall into my hand, I ain't paying retail.
See, this is why it weighs up in it. It's a balancing thing.
It's
Yeah,
a, it's a,
both.
it's
The
a
guys,
win-win. Oh, I don't get on the app. That's okay. I could just go in the back of my store and just get me one over here.
So, Reggie, what have you been wearing? I really hope it's something like slippers.
No, I'm actually.
Those
I
Crocs
actually-
again. Those multicolored Crocs.
Hell no, we're not doing Croc. I'm sorry,
Oh,
That was-
God.
but I actually got some 997s, man.
I like that. That's nice.
Those are
I-
nice.
These, I don't know, man. Like ever since I got my bodegas, these haven't been worn. Like I just don't. 997s the same ever since my bodegas. But I need to start wearing these, man.
You know what's really interesting about that, Reggie? See, a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to a guy called Stephen who designed them. You would have loved. You would have loved.
Why Why you do that?
Oh, yeah,
You
you,
know
weren't,
what-
you weren't there, was you, Reggie?
Oh, you
Oh,
weren't
yeah,
there,
I
mate.
forgot.
No, a damn well I wasn't
Hey.
there.
Hey, you was there when we spoke to Stephen, weren't you?
Yeah, wouldn't have missed it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Aiden. Well, as you've just rocked up, shout out your bits quick, mate. Go on.
Yeah, Aiden from ACS Sneakers. Apologies, I'm late. It's been an interesting day, so I'm a little bit behind you. You guys have to catch me up on what you guys have been chatting about.
Nothing.
But yeah, if you want to find me, it's Aiden from ACS Sneakers on Instagram, YouTube, and all those other good things.
And what's on feet, mate?
I actually rocked these today, the Racer Blue Jordan 3s.
You know what? I saw someone wearing them today, mate. That's a big shoe.
Damn.
When you say big, do you mean like big as in like size, or do
It's
you mean?
wide, isn't it? It's quite,
Yeah, it is a wide. It
it's
is
chunky,
a wide.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, threes in general are always a little bit clunky, a little bit heavy. But I'm a wide footer, so like of all the especially Jordan 1 through 10, like the 3 for me is like king. Like the 3, then the 6s, and yeah, man. I actually on DS these to go meet a friend of mine. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way I planned, but if it did, I'm sure I would have loved these. But yeah, didn't get a chance to see them. But yeah, really good shoe.
Yeah, and you missed out on Cammy's beta, mate. What he's calling a beta is just disgusting.
Cammy, he
Oh
he
my
didn't
God.
see 'em,
My,
so you got
my
to show them
beaters
again.
are beaters. Like I cut the grass in these. Like they're beaters.
Grass in them.
Cam,
And what-
Cam, he didn't see him, so you got to show him again.
All right, I'll show you them again. Give me a sec.
Look at it. This is a beta.
I'm telling you, these are beaters. Like these are pure beaters.
Come on, bro. It makes it worse because he cut grass, but the theme of it is a tree. Come on, with the sun.
Look, I mean, it's a palm tree, and I mean, yes, a tree. It's a tree. But you know, I don't know.
was
It's
cut-
like to me, it's like I customize so many shoes. I'm like, you know what? Something got to be my beaters. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he chose a sunset palm tree. Oh my goodness.
And then for me today, it was I was at work. It's just a work shoe, isn't it? It's just
Solid.
an NMD Tokyo. Just wore it to work. So
Nice. I like
yeah,
those. I like
The
those.
NMDs look hard though, especially
Yeah,
the all
that's-
black, like that
it's-
black colorway.
it's comfy. It's something that I can just definitely wear all day and not worry about.
Is it me, or is it that when I wear my NMD R1s, like the heel part, like where my Achilles is, it kind of rubs on my Achilles and it hurts. So I have to
It's
wear
the back
double.
tab.
Okay, because
It's that back tab on the back.
I think that's what it is. Because I have to wear double stocks for it to not be rubbing so hard on my Achilles and it be hurting.
You should go a half size up.
Dang,
Simple.
what's up?
I didn't think of that.
I think because that sock upper as well, it is a half a size up shoe as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you should just be wearing them naturally half size up. These don't hurt me at all. I just chill in them.
I'm trying to see what size are they now. They are half size up.
Well, then you just need to see a podiatrist or a pediatrist or whatever. I don't know what they are. Foot doctor. Go see one.
One half size down. Fuck it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Cammy,
So.
go on.
Oh God,
Go on, Ash.
I've got to start. So Cammy. Yeah. So basically, as we kind of discussed before, but before recording, kind of thing. So the reason, obviously, we wanted you on. Is because we're going through all spectrums. That's what Sneaker World Order is about, is trying to like get in contact and kind of build, the community from every kind of area. And when it came to looking around for someone who does, kind of creative design and, kind of one-off pieces, you kind of came into my stream and I just ended up looking through photos. I was like, yeah, this is who we've got to have on. So for you personally, like, what was one of your favorite designs that you did, and like why?
Let me see. Man, I've designed a lot of stuff. One of my favorite designs I have to say would be, I don't know, man. I've designed a lot of stuff. Oh, actually, I designed the Kill Bill Air Force One off the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, like I did like the Kill Bill theme where I had the actual Uma Thurman on the shoe, and I had a give me one sec. Sorry, my little daughter's here with me. She enjoys the interview. But I had Uma Thurman on the shoe, and I had Lucy Liu on the shoe on an Air Force One. So I designed like a low top Air Force One, and I designed like a high top black Air Force One. Whereas, like the Air Force One, it was all yellow, had a couple blood splatters on it. The high Force Air Force One had had Lucy Liu on it along with flowers on it. Yep.
That's
so
nice.
it was lit.
Do you have
Yeah.
one of those?
Yeah. Well, I don't have it with me, but because I literally sold it like a while back. But it's definitely on my Instagram page.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Reggie, you've got to do research, mate. Don't just turn
So,
up.
Yeah.
what got you into? I mean, okay, let's start from beginning. Was you always a sneakerhead, or was it just something you done design and saw trainers as a canvas?
Well, actually, like I didn't start off as a sneakerhead. I started off working at the shoe store named Champs, and it's a big company of Foot Locker.
Yeah.
So basically, I was working there, and I used to see a lot of Jordans like on my wall and stuff, like my shoe wall. But I used to think like, hey, how would this look in a different color, or how would this look in like, if this had this on it. So one day, I literally took this type of paint we use for sneakers, because I like YouTubed it, but I took it and I put it on a pair of shoes, and man, I messed that shoe up so bad. I think it was the at the Aunt Pearl KD7s. Tried to make it all black. It was the one with the Jeremy Scott wing on it.
Yeah.
I tried to make it all black, man. I messed it up. Then after that, I started trying to work on my craft, messed it up a couple times. I had a pair of, infrared retro 3s, messed it up, tried to put like glue on some different type of paints, messed it all up. And like I think I went ass backwards with it, because I started doing the Jordans instead of Air Force Ones, because at that time Jordans was like $250, $270, just the general prices. So when I got it, just started messing up. But one thing led to another. It was just trial and error. And after the 7th shoe I messed up, I finally figured it out by YouTube and just like, just trying. And one thing led to another. And eventually, I think my first shoe that I had that was like really popular, where I took the dive in, it was for this artist. Well, it was this song by this artist named G Herbo. And basically, I designed the shoe, put it on social media, and it just blew up. Like I'm talking about, it was an all red shoe with his with the name of his album on it, and it just blew up. 6 months later, I met a celebrity. well, I met him and I was able to design a shoe to him. I will give it to him. After that, it was literally game on. Like I'm talking about, like I started getting orders. I started marketing myself a little bit different. And like I'm talking like, bro, it was crazy. Like a lot of doors opened up for me just off of doing it. But it really came from just trial and experience. And it took me 3 years almost before I got to like a lot of orders and major endorsements. And so yeah.
So so originally it just started off kind of growing itself organically then.
Yeah, like it did.
And
Social media like opens up a lot of doors too. Like honestly, like the generation we live in, it's a blessing and a curse because social media is what you make it. But say for instance, like if you're using it in a positive way to use your talents and promote something positive, people just find out about it through the hashtags, through the tags that you use, and it eventually grows. Whereas before social media, it was the old-fashioned way of, hey, I have to literally know you in order to pass it to the next guy. With social, that's how we're able to contact each other right now, like from America to England. Yeah, so it's lit.
So you've been doing this. So when did you first muck up your first trainer? What year was this?
So like 2013.
Damn.
Right. So we're.
I've been in the sneaker game for a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the thing, and this is what I don't think a lot of people realize. I mean, me, Aiden, Blazer, we do YouTube, and we know that it's a long game thing, and we're into it, and we get into it, and we understand. But I think, like you said, with the social media, a lot of people just think they don't see the work what you've put in underneath the time where you, like you said, you mucked up 7 kicks at your expense.
Yeah, like I think I spent like honestly, I probably spent over $1,000 like within those first 3 years just trying to like get my platform off and like to actually get it to where it's headed now. But the hardest thing about it though, and it's like with any type of passion, it's like there's no such thing as an overnight success. Like even people that have overnight songs, like there's no such thing. Like you spend so many years working on that path and you have that vision, you just have to stick with it.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's the beauty of the grind.
What I've always been interested in, and what I've seen, because when you see customization on kicks, Air Force One is like the go-to trainer. Now, why is that? I mean, why is it not anything else?
Well, it's easily accessible. It's primarily a leather shoe, and it's also it's a blank canvas. And it's still popular, like in today's date. So I think Air Force Ones out here in America was the #1 trending shoe that was sold within the past 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So
like.
So why not like Air Jordan 1 lows, all leather? You know, it's the same thing. Okay. Cause like my main thing is, and you know, the guys know, I don't like Air Forces simply because everybody has it or I'm different with it. It's like I kind of want to be like, it's no such thing of being your own lane when it comes to shoes, unless you have a connection where you just a one-on-one shoe. But when it comes to like but when it comes to Air Forces, it's like, you know, every corner you turn over here, it's like you see an Air Force white or red and white, blues. It's always a different color, but regardless what it is, it's just an Air Force One.
Yeah.
So that's just my thing. Air Force Ones, man, it's just not, I can't roll with it because everybody, I feel like I'm falling in that line of just everybody has it.
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
that's why people get them customized, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
It's a comfortable shoe. You can't deny its comfortability, but then I don't want mine to be like everybody else's. I want mine to have something unique. Like if I was to ever have one personally, and obviously I don't go back to Nike, but but if I was to have one, I would have I'd have to go old school on it. I'd have like Scorpion on one and Sub-Zero on the other or something. You know, like Mortal Kombat characters. So when they turn on one side, it's like get over here or something. Like I'd love that. That's what I would have.
Whoa, what's up?
I haven't thought about it.
Oh man, yeah. I think it's gonna be. I don't know if y'all seen the show, but
sorry,
it's
did you say Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
The cartoon, the cat and the mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just asking. I just wanted to just see what level we're on. But carry on.
So what level you on?
Don't worry about me. We're talking about you.
Since you interrupt me, what level are you on? What would
Me,
you do?
I'm just enjoying your story.
No. My story is done. I'm gone. I'm done. What
No,
will
you
be
hadn't
yours?
finished. You said you want the cat to run after the mouse on each foot or something.
No.
I don't know.
I said that. I said, what would be your anime on the shoe on the Air Force? Since my Tom and Jerry is on a different level, what would yours be?
Listen, I was not criticizing your Tom and Jerry. I was just saying it's a funny thing to go to.
But see, but that's the beautiful thing about it, though, fellas, is that it's when it comes down to the sneaker art and the sneaker design, and there's so many different levels of it. You can go from Tom and Jerry to Courage to Cowardly Dog to abstract Picasso to a building of the Chicago skyline. Like, you can bridge so many gaps, and that's one thing I realized as well with designing sneakers. I literally bridge the gaps, and it's so dope. Like, I could literally go from doing Naruto to doing Dragon Ball Z to designing a Chicago skyline to designing stuff for rappers, to designing stuff for Dead Mouse who does techno music. Like it's so many bridges that can be like opened and combined in designing shoes. It's beautiful.
It's like I noticed you got Frida Kahlo behind you. So do you use other artists' art on those shoes as well? Like because look at you three. You three don't even know who she is.
No, of course I do. No, I do.
I do. Yeah, I got.
I noticed it as well, but I didn't think I wanted to.
I'm glad
that's all.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, that like using other people, like other artists' influence as well. And that's another thing that I'd have on an Air Force. I'd probably have like a Van Gogh or something on the side of one, or a Banksy or something like that. You know, something that's out there. I think that's good. I think more people should embrace it. I don't own a custom shoe.
No, nor do I.
That's something
Well,
that I would
honestly, the crazy thing about it is like, I will say this though, when it comes down to customs, you can have the most hype beast shoe, but if you have a one of one, you'll get more attention from that one of one than a hype beast shoe. Because the person's gonna be like,
unless
yo,
you're
this
Pat,
is so
because
creative.
Pat's will be a hype beast one of one. Like he'll customize something which no one can. His dunk lows, he'll probably go, yeah, let's customize it. You know.
I'm totally ignoring you right now. Totally. I'm just letting you. I don't want to be rude. I'm letting you know I'm ignoring you. That's all.
You just saying, like it'd be dope. And like that's the beautiful part about it though. It's like, and honestly, like, and when it comes down to creating that bridge too, is that what I do is I send shoes to different, like all over in different countries. So say for instance, like through social media, I have clients from here in my own state to clients to you guys' country. So speaking of that, and
someone's got some bills though. Those
and
import fees are hard.
You guys earlier,
Go on.
I want to show you guys this shoe. I'm actually designing a shoe for this art gallery in Paris. It's called Gallery Sakura. And this is the sneaker right here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I seen
that.
that
The name is pop art.
You just
I seen that
it,
photo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the pop art one. That's nice.
Pop art.
Yeah, like
So is that all painted? Is that all painted or
what's up?
Is it all painted? Is it like...
it's all painted. Like all of it is painted. This was the original all white retro one mid. Yeah, so it'll be out there honestly this week. The gallery opens up on the 7th of September. Well, next month.
So what is it? Is like a pop art gallery?
Yeah. Well, it's not a pop art gallery. It's just a gallery of 400 sneaker designers from different countries and different cities, and we're basically designing a shoe and having it showcased over there. This is going to be one of them.
See, we got one of them. Everyone was searching for the one of 50. We got the one of 400 in the world.
Yes.
One of 400 in the world, not just one of 50 numbers where they've all got 1,000, 100,000 each. One of 400 in the world. See that?
Yeah, like it's dope. Like the sneaker community is so big, like it's worldwide. And the thing is too is like, and what I always try to tell people is like, don't think don't think small and in the box of your city. Try to think bigger, as far as like state, country, worldwide, because that money honestly circulates every day. Like for instance, if there's being money made at 9 o'clock our time PM, it'd be like what 9 a.m. in another country. So the money doesn't sleep.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Should see Pat on those overnight pickups.
Why is it coming back to me?
Because you're the winner of Show Your Creps, mate.
I self-pronounced.
I don't think he's the winner of Show Cribs, you know. I mean,
Stop hating, Reggie.
They announced me. I'm just saying they announced me. So I'm thinking that the crowd kind of leaned towards me. But hey, who's judging here? You know, we'll leave that in the past.
Anyway, back to the real guest, Cammy. Before someone.
Oh no, hey, look, trust me, I enjoy it. Like, look, this is lit.
Aiden, have you got anything to say, mate? I love Aiden's questions. Aiden's always come from a very special place.
I don't even know how to follow that up. Like, to be completely honest, like I'm kind of like trying to catch up with everything you guys have already talked about. So I don't really want to be touching on something like you've already said or.
Hey, literally, we just started recording when you came on. You haven't really missed anything.
Yeah, we spoke for an hour about Kanye West. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that because yeah.
Actually, talk about Kanye West and that. Have you actually heard the album though, Aid?
I tapped out after the track 2 something.
Not feeling it.
Like I have to listen to the whole thing before I give it my judgment. But like, fucking hell, that first thing I've just donned her for 40 seconds. I was like, for fuck's sake, let's get cracking on. Like Nas's album is hard from track 1. I don't know if you guys have heard the new Nas album.
Nas album is hit.
Like Dave came out swinging on his album. AJ Tracy, Gets. We've been blessed with a lot of really, really good albums this year. And if you ain't hitting me on track 1 and track 2, I ain't gonna listen to track 10 or track 11 because there are too many other good albums out there that I can listen to. So I'll try and listen to it, but it ain't like everyone's like, oh, don't. For me, Kanye West was best at College Dropout. Like that is his best body. Like
his first.
Yeah, that's his best body of work. He came out swinging on that album. That was like that for me was like when I first heard that, I was like, shit, right, here we go. And then it's just like, you know, started up here and he's gradually gotten worse for me. But I'm not really into this whole kind of, I don't know, up my own ass kind of music. Do you know what I mean? It's like Jay-Z. I don't like Jay-Z's music anymore. I used to like his original stuff, but like his new shit, like shit. It's just boring. It's
funny because Cam was saying earlier he feels like, I mean, I haven't listened to it. I think Cam was saying it's almost like bridging that the gospel.
Yeah, it's like I you know what's crazy, and I agree with you on the first track that Donda shit. I turned that shit off. Like I literally skipped it. I'm not gonna listen to someone say Donda 51 times. It's not gonna happen. But honestly though, like as you get deeper into it though, like it's definitely a bridge and a gap to me because like the features that he does have, and it's very Chicago too, but the bridges that he does have is like a lot of hip hop where he's trying to merge that with gospel. Granted, he's on a whole nother thing because he's trying to lead inside the gospel thing, you know, his finding his way, I guess. But he, to me, from what I personally like heard, in my own opinion, I think he was actually bridging the gap between hip hop and secular music. But I was gonna ask you, you didn't like Dark Twisted Fantasy?
I mean,
that was hard.
Like for me, like Kanye West, like his producing is unmatchable. Like he's the best producer in the world for me. Like he is what he. I mean, I'm just a guy from Preston. This is Kanye West. You know what I mean? Like, but for me, I just feel like lyrically, I like music with like substance and like don't get me wrong. Like when he produces to his full extent of what he can do, he makes some of my favorite songs I've ever heard. Like, but for me, like the music that I generally listen to kind of has like a storytelling aspect to it. So like for instance, like Dave's new album. Do you know who Dave is?
Yeah,
Dave. So like his album like goes a lot into like, you know, how his mum struggled coming like when he was growing up and how he struggled growing up, and like that's the kind of music I generally kind of associate myself with. Like then a mix of like Rat Pack and Benny King and all those kind of things. Like those are the
like contemporary music.
Fratelli kind of music. So, I mean, I will definitely give it a listen. I'm not gonna write it off because, to be honest, like Gets his new album, I didn't enjoy track 1 and track 2, but the rest of the album, as a whole album, it's a really solid album. So I will listen to it, but I feel like people going crazy for it. It's one of them, isn't it? I mean, if it was a brand new 50 Cent album or something, I'd probably be getting high. You know?
Actually, that brings on to something we was talking about earlier. So you're probably the youngest in amongst us here, and we were saying, what do you think would hit? Kanye's album, which has dropped and it's gone to #1 or everywhere. I mean, Cameron say it's gone everywhere.
Yeah.
But how do you think Dr. Dre's next album would be?
Yeah, Dre.
I feel like, geez, that's a tough question now. It's kind of like, I reckon it'll probably be received the same way Snoop Lion was received. Like the old heads will probably listen to it. Like me, like people that are from I was born 96, but I've always considered myself a 90s kid. Like I love 90s music. Like the 90s is the best era of music, hands down. I won't hear anything else about it. It is the single best body of music from 91 to 99. I'm not going to hear anything else. We had big.
You can say it with a lot of, I mean, R&B back then as well, and you know, swing.
The whole
Yeah, 90s had the best R&B.
Story. Like you had like the come up of Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Ice Cube. You had Mobb Deep. You had. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of these were coming up through the 80s, but they really hit in the 90s. Wu-Tang. So like the 90s, like I feel like Dr. Dre in the 90s, it was the king. Whereas Dr. Dre in 2021, bit of a relic. He's in his 50s. It'd be like if I don't know, like if Michael Bublé drops an album in it, like he's got his core fan base. But I don't think like these young guys are listening. Like these young guys are listening to like I don't know. I don't even know who they are. Like I don't Juice WRLD. I don't know who he is really. And he's passed.
Nice.
I mean, I've never heard it. Like I'm one of them.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Well, that's a terrible reference. So rest in peace.
He's dead. I've had a couple of mates of mine who turned around and was like, "Oh yeah, you got to listen to this guy like Juice WRLD." So I listened to it and I was like, "Oh, he's quite good." He's dead. So I'll never get to see him live then. And then it was like Lil Peep or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, I'll listen to that. Oh, I like this. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, he's dead."
Yeah, me
like
and Big
Triple X and Tession or something like that. Check this guy out. And I listened. I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy's got his finger on the pulse. He's dead." I was like, "Why are you telling me about all these people I've never seen live?" I live for live music. See, like artists that I'm liking at the minute, I like artists like I've always liked, like Eminem. I like someone who's controversial. You know, Eminem's not as controversial as he used to be. Like he used to say the F word, the N word. He said it all, you know, and you know, like so the latest ones for that are like I don't know if you've heard of Tom McDonald. See, I listen to Tom McDonald because he's like very controversial. Something he will say will split people. I like Dax, like who's self-promoted, who's, you know, and to be fair, Dax has messaged me on Instagram and I've messaged him back. He's, you know, and I'm just like, this is a guy who's just like messaging
He's
fans.
a hyper beast now.
Yeah.
No, because he messages all of his fans, so he's got time for it, mate. But I like controversial people. I like people like Joyner Lucas.
Yes.
Loved Joyner Lucas. That I'm not racist. That I'm not racist song. I was like, oh, this is good because it's like really tests people. And I think within the sneaker community, that's what we've got as well. Whenever there's a new release, it will test people. You get people that look at a sneaker release, you know. We were talking about it the other day with Adidas Members Week, the super stuffed. Some people will look at that and go, "That's a clown shoe. That looks awful." Other people go, "I need that shoe."
Yeah,
and I think that's what it is. Is like one person's kind of like one person's art, one person's kind of sneaker, maybe their favorite, whereas for another person, they absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
And that actually leads to that question that I was going to ask you guys. Well, the question that I asked you guys to answer. Do y'all remember?
No, you got
What's
to
the
ask
question
it
again? Aiden
again.
wasn't here.
Yeah. So my question was, this social media. Since we are in the social media era, and everybody's on this trend of trying to be like the next Kim Kardashian or the Travis Scott or, the next big thing, right? Do y'all think it is good to follow those people in that direction, or is it, how can I put it? Or is it, well, let me put it like this. Do y'all guys think that a lot of people are losing their way of like, in their trying to go their own path and they're trying to end up going to somebody else's path, like trying to be like them? Like, do y'all think a lot of people are losing their own path and trying to be like somebody else? Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like we all look up to someone at the end of the day. We all have people that we look up to, but it becomes dangerous when you try to emulate them tit for tat. And it's a really slippery slope, because it's like the world has enough of the same person. And if you're trying to be exactly like the same, you're not really gonna get to where you want to be, because they're gonna always compare you to that person. Whereas the person that creates their own lane, now mind you, there's nothing wrong with sampling, but mind you, a person that samples and creates their own lane, or just flat out creates their own lane, they're gonna have their own crowd, because that crowd is gonna look up to that person. You get what I'm saying? So it's a dangerous thing of becoming followers and actually being a trendsetter. And that's honestly, when you look at some of the biggest people in today's society and today's in today's industries, like for instance, the Kim Kardashian that you brought up. A lot of people don't know this, but Kim K got a lot of her game from Paris Hilton. She sampled a lot of the things that she did. Yeah, she was actually Paris Hilton's stylist. Like they were cool. And if you remember, Paris Hilton used to be that go-to girl. Like she was on top of the game. Then you had Kim K sampling, studying things, and understanding the marketing behind it. Because at the end of the day, all this is marketing.
And they both got
literally just marketing. It's marketing to promote the album.
Just me.
That's all it is. But everyone gets samples from someone, and the ones that be on top of the industry, they sample certain things but create it in their own way. And everyone else, they either inspired or some just follow. But it's dangerous when you follow it tit for tat.
So that's oh, my bad. That's what I was trying to get it at. So from 5 to 10 years from now, do you think we'll have more followers than trendsetters, or more trendsetters than followers?
Oh, do you mean like influencers?
Yeah, like more like, do we have more followers than influencers, or do we have more influencers than followers?
There's always going to be more followers, because otherwise, who are they following? Otherwise,
I think it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, we all influence, like, in a way. Like this podcast, for instance, I've listened to podcasts, and a lot of the kind of segments, like What's on Feet and stuff like that, a lot of podcasts do it. I do it because it's a good talking point, and it starts off. It's a nice icebreaker for the guests as well as everybody else. It starts us off every episode. But at the same time, I'd like to think that we're different and we break the mold, because we are so loosely based. We don't follow it. We have no structure. We have no rules. We swear. If you're watching it, we drink, we smoke, and we don't just talk sneakers. We do also go into other bits and bobs as well. And, there are some sneaker podcasts that will not be lay from, right? We talk about this is it. Whereas I think it's nice that we can talk about everything and anything and have just a general conversation amongst sneakerheads. We're sneakerheads. That's why we're here. It's the sneaker world order. We are here all as sneakerheads, or within the culture of sneakers. But at the same time, we're all individuals. What somebody likes and what somebody doesn't like, to be honest, interests me more to listen to than what's hype this week.
Yeah.
I'd rather get to know somebody. Like Cammy, how we are. That's why we asked, like, how did you get into it? Because we're genuinely interested in you, not just, what celebrities have you done this for? No, that's not you.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful part about it. And that's why I appreciate it too, because it's like, and I've had interviews, I've had podcasts, I've had those same situations where it dives more into the artist that I've designed for, the things that I have done for it. Well, not done for, but it just, the attention shifts from that to the actual message of what I do, you know?
Exactly, and
And
that's
I'm
it.
grateful for that.
Yeah, because we want to know what your interests are. We want to know you as a person, not you as a product.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to, really just said to you, Cam, just send us some pictures. Can we put your Instagram up on our podcast? Do you know what I mean? You know, but we was talking earlier, we talk about PS5s and which ones. Well, Ash says Xbox is better, and he's gonna get all cryptic on us.
No, it just genuinely is. Like the
Obviously,
CPU's better, the GPU's
Ash,
better.
let me finish.
I like the PlayStation better, but I'm with you on
See,
that.
Blazer and Cam just kind of fought back, you know. But we know that A's got a PS5 now.
Shh.
So I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, it's Christmas, mate. What are you doing?
So sorry. So anyway, so what do we have on feet?
Oh no, he never told.
That for the kids, Zane. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's good. They're like, listen, this time of night, if they're awake, it's their own fucking fault. It's our fault. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do actually have some controversial shit to say about this though, so I apologize in advance.
No, go on.
But
I like it.
I genuinely believe like it's the parents' responsibility when it comes to social media. Like for me, I instill in my kids like a soldier's mentality. The way I see it, like where I live and where they're growing up, it's a rough area, and I want them to be 1000% confident. I want them to have Kanye West confidence when they step out onto the streets that we live on. I want them to be good people. I want them to be honorable men, and I want them to be strong characters and strong-willed. But I want them to puff their chest out, and I don't give a fuck what you have to think about me because I think I'm cool. I know where I'm at. I know what I like. So instead of what we like, it's what I like. So this whole social media thing, it comes down to parenting. It wasn't there when I was a kid, and as a chubby guy, if I had social media as a kid, I would have, listen, I have an eating disorder because I like eating food. But if I was growing up in the era of social media and being as big as I am, I would have had some eating disorders, some mental problems, and some troubles because you see a life that's not real. People live the lives they want on social media. Like everybody that lives on social media ain't really living that life outside of social media. Like it's all fake. It's all glamorized. It's all touched up. So like, this is why I say, speak to your kids, let them know what is real, what's not real. Let them know that you are more than like what we said about this interview. You are more than what you do. You have value as a person. Like I could put it on my Instagram story, like base your opinion on a man on his morals, not on what he can do. Do you know what I mean? Not what he brings to the table, not what he's got financially, not what like materialistic things he's got. Like, is he a good person? What's he doing for the world? Like, what is his message? Like, if you leave this world, you'll leave your flashy car behind. You'll leave that money behind. But it's the it's the message that you leave behind. Do you know what I mean? So like, that's what I do for my boys, and I will do for my daughter as well. She's gonna have a rough upbringing with those three boys, making sure that no other men are gonna be barking up that tree. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. Like, I feel like we all need to take responsibility and be responsible for our own kids and not let social media and not let YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook raise our kids, man. Like, you know, raise your damn kids.
Yeah. I think that's right, because that's exactly why, of all the kind of designers and everything like that we could have chosen, that's why when it came on to Cami, I thought, you know what, this guy don't need to publicize yourself because like your art speaks for itself. But when you do, you're humble with it because you turn around and you're not just like, yo, look who I met. Yeah, I'm the best. You're like, I had the honor of meeting this person. I got to design this shoe for them, and I'm glad they like it. It's not, look what I've done. This is me. I'm the big I am. It is, I was honored to do it. You know, like you almost felt like that you were graced with their communication, which always will come across and shows you as a genuine person. Like I'm just to echo what Aidan said, like back in my day when I was at school, well, there was no social media, there weren't Facebook, there was nothing. I think MySpace was just coming out, you know? But that's
I'm
it.
your best friend.
But yeah, no, that's it. It's scary because in the playground, you have an issue with a lad, you fight. It's done. Whoever wins, it's done. Now, kids can't get away from it. You go home, guess what? You're still getting bullied because it's on your Facebooks, it's on your Instagrams, and and it's scary. And all of us here, we're all men. The highest suicide rates are in men at the minute. And it's because of social media. It's because we're somewhat of the weaker sex because mentally it's difficult, because there are the terms of man up, because there are the terms of, get on with it. We don't get the chance to sit there and everything. And the sneaker community in itself, I think, really helps. Like we were talking about last week, we were talking to Greg, and he was saying how being a sneakerhead for him was an addiction from the Sneak This podcast, and he's saying it's an addiction, and him and his wife had to have counseling because of the addiction that he had. And for a man to turn around and say, look, I have an issue, I think it's great that people can kind of, as a community, we can all kind of be like, I understand that.
Yeah.
And it's weird to be in a community where we all have a love of something that we put on our feet, Yeah. But I think it's good because it's bringing men and women, don't get me wrong, but I think the women, as well, they have their own little subgroups that they like to stick together as well. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's good that we've all got these kind of separate groups or like a togetherness where we all look out for each other just based on what we wear on our feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, I mean, we've all been influenced in some way or another. I mean, when I was younger, it used to be footballers.
Yeah.
You wanted to be that footballer on the field and whatever, and you would do their tricks they did. Do you know what I mean? I mean, for you guys, it might be basketball or, what you want to do that trick, what they did, and then try and make it, and you'd always try and make it your own, because I think you had parents who'd slap you back to earth instantly. Do you know what I mean? You ain't looking in and saying, yeah, I'm Thierry Henry and I'm just going to sit down and do what I want. No, you're going to get slapped back down instantly. So
Aiden still does his Ronaldinho tricks every now and then on Sunday.
I try, but I pull a hammy and everything.
Oh, listen, mate, I took the kids to the footy, right? I took the whole estate because, I'm trying to be a pillar of my community, and there's a lack of dads on this estate. So I took all the kids this Sunday. There was about 10, 15 kids. I was refereeing the game. I decided, you know what? I'm going to get involved. It's looking like it's a lot of fun. So I went on my son's team, favoritism. And we ended up going 5-0 up, obviously, because I'm the GOAT. And I was just doing my bits. And, I ended up... I kind of tried to do a Stevie G in it from 45 yards out. And I hit a kid with the ball.
So this is the last week that we'll see Aiden. It's lovely having him on.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing sucked out of that football pitch. And do you know when you see I don't know, man, somebody fall down real hard.
And unfortunately, that kid did have a dad.
Then I was like, are you good? Are you good? And he was like, he was not happy. He wasn't happy. It did not end well. But yeah, that shit was a rough weekend, man. But this is a mad episode. It's we're getting onto some mad topic.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. So you go out, you do your thing and whatever. But it's funny because it's like this sneaker hype thing it's mad because my boy plays football, and you go around there, and I'll be wearing what I wear, and they'll come to you, oh my god, where'd you get that from?
Hey, beast.
And I'll be like, I saw the. No, shut up, man.
Look what you got, £1,000 deals on your feet.
Hype beast.
Hype beast.
Ignore them all, yeah? Just listen to me. Don't listen to them. So and they'll come up and they'll go, oh yeah, how much does that cost? I said, how much do you think it costs?
£1,000.
Yeah, I want to get, shut up. Yeah, I want to get those. But I'll be like, well, what do you need to get them? Well, I saw someone on Instagram. I said, no, not what they do. What do you need to do to get it?
Mm-hmm.
And not one of them will say, I need to get a job. And I'll be like, well, you need to get money. How are you going to get money? Well, on Instagram, you can, no, not on Instagram. what do you need to do in real life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This
You know?
this is the generation of laziness.
You can't blame them because it's there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't blame them, but you just have to, like Aidan said, you have to be that parent. You have to be that one to say, okay, that's cool. It's an achievable goal. But then how do you get that goal? It's not given to you on Instagram. You know, you'll see Cammy, you know, shaking hands with someone, whatever. He's just told you he started in 2013.
That's 8 years ago.
Do you know what I mean? It didn't just happen like that. He didn't just shake hands with him yesterday and he started 2 hours before.
Yeah, you know? And I agree. I agree.
So, you know, and like my boy now, he's like, I said to him, right, you need to get some trainers. They're going to kicking off on you. And I'm not going out on the street looking like a tramp. Yeah. I want a Jordan 4 USCs, the blue ones. I'm like, are you having a laugh? They're £400. Yeah, that's what I want. Well, then what do you need to do to get that?
Honestly.
You know,
my dad's in it because he's got 6 pairs.
Shut up. Right? I said to him, I go to work. I work. My money doesn't come into my house. No one gives me my money. I go to work. Okay.
Right,
yeah.
You've worked in the summer. You've made some money. What you got to do? You're going to spend it all on that, or is there another way for you to keep your money, make money, and then spend it on that? Let's reverse it. Let's see it. So you need £400. How can you do that from 250? Yeah, but on Instagram, no. You're not allowed to talk about Instagram. You know, you've earned that money. Why don't you get shoes what you can sell on? Maybe sell those on. If you want to go into this trainer thing, what you think so hyped on Insta, but you'll see how hard it really is because no one's making £1,000 on trainers. That's once in a while. One drop, maybe 2 a year if you're lucky. But you might make £20. But in a grand scheme of things, that's 20%. Shopkeepers don't make 20% on products. You know, and you start breaking it down to them, and then they're like, "Oh, actually, this isn't as easy as it was." But if you work for it, 6 months from now, because we reversed engineered it, you'd have those.
Yeah.
But then you say 6 months to a kid, he's like, 6 months? That's years away.
Yeah.
But like,
that kind of is the problem though with like the sneaker community though, isn't it? Like everything's instant now, everything's now, and like that kind of like you see like Klarna is now on StockX. You can use Klarna on StockX now.
Wow.
what, like
That
paying 100 times or whatever?
Yeah, like you can spread payments into 3 months now. Like, and I was looking at like there's no interest, but if you are a young person and you want to fit in or you want to stand out, even like if you have the option to be like I can get £1,000 shoe split into 3 payments. Yeah, I can afford £350 a month for the next 3 months. I'm good. Boom, month 2, you lose your job. Now you got a £700 bill you can't afford. Like sneakers in general, like when I go into sneakers at the worst possible time. I have everybody here. Like I am the newest newbie here. I started just before the first lockdown, so the end of 2019. I started to collect. Start of 2020. 6 months after I started, Last Dance comes out. I'm like, for fuck's sake, all the prices are shooting up. And I'm like, I literally couldn't have started at a worse time. And then starting the channel alongside that as well, and trying to be consistent and trying to be building a collection. Because as much as I wanted to be consistent with my videos and I had to sell pairs to get more pairs for more videos, I also didn't want to be that guy on YouTube with no fucking collection. Do you know what I mean? You see Tony D Too Wild, you see Kais with these £1,000 collections, and I'm like, I'm selling every shoe that I own to get the next one. So like people don't like realize like how much money you've got to invest, how much time you've got to invest, how much energy, like just to sit in front of a camera and talk about shoes, especially after an 8-hour shift at work on a bad week, how much energy that actually takes to get yourself motivated. Because you don't just want to be on camera like, yeah, it's good shoe, innit? Good shoe, innit? Like you want to be hyped, you want to be talking, you want to be your best self, and like people don't see that. And like we all have off days, we're all human beings, and like, but like when you're in it, you're in it. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard to get out. And that's kind of touching back on what we said last week with the marital problems and stuff. Like it can get like that. You can get into financial difficulties. You can get into like mental issues, like struggling mentally with the cost of everything. So like all those sneakers is beautiful. It's a great thing to be involved in. We also kind of need to realize like shoes whilst, you know, filling certain things in our lives, like they're not your entire life. You know what I mean? Like we kind of need to separate yourself a little bit, because we talk about shoes all the time on here, but like the amount of people that, yeah, like you see that like don't miss your rent for a pair of shoes. Don't miss your car for a pair of shoes, or your kids' maintenance payments for some shoes, man. Like, kind of like.
No, I'm not gonna lie, my kids have eaten baked beans because I bought shoes. But, you know.
Oh dear God!
There's the high beast, of course. I wouldn't expect anything less.
So, like, Cammy, so is
Yeah.
is this your sole job then? So when you're doing sneaker design, so that's your sole way of earnings now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah, because at first it wasn't like I would work like 3 or 2 jobs at a time just to help put the income into that. But it got to a point where the revenue just started coming in for me to where I wouldn't have to work one. But I'm not gonna say that, hey, I'll never probably work a 9 to 5, because who knows? Tomorrow's not guaranteed, you know.
Yeah.
But as of right now, yeah, designer sneakers is definitely for it.
So how did you? That's interesting, because I mean, we all work. I mean, we've all had to work and we've done work, and we will put in that grind to make what we need to do. We're not clearly, none of us on here are lazy, and we understand what the world is.
Yeah.
How did you find that the pressure when you? Because obviously, like you said, it blew up. I'm not saying instantly, but at that point where it's like, whoa, I'm getting these things in. I need to do it, and you've obviously got deadlines to do certain things. Did you have that pressure where you was working your 9 to 5 job and then had to come home and do that design, get that ready? And because I'm assuming every time you start, it's not the perfect straight away.
No, it wasn't like
not taking it away from
honestly,
you.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. Honestly, it was very hard to get organized, because a lot of it comes from organization of like having a set schedule and having everything planned out. And when it did happen to get to the point of me working my 9 to 5, like it was stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Working 2 jobs and then having to create a project that has to be due like within the next day or the day after, it's very stressful. But you kind of get to that point, like which matters more, like sleep or getting this done, because you know you're gonna thank yourself later on. So that's the hardest thing. Like it would be times where I'm literally sleeping like 2, 3, 4 hours, and I'm going right to work. And then I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. I mean, but I was younger though. I was like 20, like 19, 20, 21. Like I was around that time, I could do it. But now at the age of 28, hell no, I can't do it.
But that's it. Like, so to be fair, you're very reasonably priced.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you buy the sneaker initially anyway to do the design on. Well, that's included in the price, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah. So like, say for instance, because when I first started, I would buy the sneaker and I would have a couple pairs. But the thing is, I would sit on them and I would lose revenue on it. So eventually I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. The customer makes the order. The order is going to be included in the Air Force One. So that way I'm not physically sitting on any pairs. But at the same time, when you want to make that transaction, that's when I go to Nike, go to StockX, put the order in, and basically ship it out, design and ship it.
So what do you do? Is it all money up front, or is it just the cost of the trainer first, and then when it's finished, then it's the thingy? Because I mean that makes
all money up front.
Yeah, I mean that makes more for that. You're not chasing a bad debt, then, are you? Really?
Yeah.
Only because of the fact I've had situations where I would do a deposit and for some reason it wouldn't go through, as far as like it's time for me to give the customer the shoe. The customer says, I don't like it, or something happens to it, you know, and it's like, and now I catch myself refunding you the money, or whatever the circumstance may be, I might not even get the end of the deposit. I might not get the back end on my deposit. So instead, where I'm at now, it's basically you put the order in, you get the shoes, we come up with the design together, or I make the design for you and you tell me what you think about it, and there we go.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean,
it's good, yeah. Because
business-wise, it just, no one wants to chase a bad debt. You know, and I can definitely understand that. You know.
Yeah, and that's one thing I would suggest to like all my entrepreneurs too. Like, get your money up front. Deposits, it's cool if you know the person, but when it comes down to people of that you do not physically know, get it up front.
Even then, with my friends, I couldn't give a shit if someone turned around to me and said, "I want to buy these shoes from you." Trust me, you ain't getting those shoes. You ain't seeing them until money's in my fucking hand.
Yeah. Well, see, my people, like, my 7 people that I got around me, I trust them. So, yeah.
It's funny. I mean, you talk about that. I mean, I remember I was doing a business, and you know, the support I thought I would have got from certain people, I didn't actually get. Not that they wanted me to fail. It's more like look, I'm concerned. Are you sure you want to do this? Because it's a lot of money and, you know, X, Y, and Z. But really, how was it with you in the sense that, like, you're saying, like, I mean, I know your little girl walked by there and you got your missus and your mum and your dad. They want you to be that doctor and the accountant and, you know, all that stuff. And we're all supposed to be.
Well,
how did you say to them, I want to paint trainers?
I'm not gonna lie to you. They looked at me like I was dumb as hell. Honestly, the crazy thing about it is
looking forward to Christmas now.
I'm talking about like everyone. Even when I was at my job at the time, like they looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. They was like, why do you want to just color on shoes? And I'm just like, because it's different. Like, you know, it's something that's not the same. Like it's something that brings people attention in. But at the same time, like, mind you, when I first started, my first shoe was all black and it was trash. So like it kind of fed into the criticism of when people would see that, they talk shit. It'd be a lot of shit talking like, your shit's trash. Like, what the fuck is this? And I'm just like, well, something is different. It's a different colorway. But the way it would be, regardless of what the outside would say, I had it in me to the point I'm still gonna do what I want to do. I'm still gonna make it. And if you like it, okay, cool. If you don't, I'm doing it for me. But social media changed the game though, because like when eventually when my work did get to a point where it was better, because mind you, that shoe that I just showed you guys, even the ones on my feet, I wasn't making that type of art until like probably like 4 or 5 years ago out of my 8. And so I spent 3 years of just doing colorways and like trying to perfect it. But anyway, that's a long story. But yeah, so like eventually, like when I started designing it, people weren't so energized about it, enthusiastic, because I come from Chicago. So Chicago's a very crab in a bucket city. So it's like, if you make it out, you have to leave to make it out. I mean, to make it and then come back, that's when they'll embrace you. But when you're in your own city, it's kind of hard, like, because it's not the popular thing at the moment. It's not the trendsetter thing. It's not the hype beast thing. So when they see it as something different, it's kind of like you're just drawing on shoes. But when I went to social media and I started actually going hard with it, as far as like the posting, the hashtags, the tagging people, that's when the support came in from the outside influencers, from the outside people in different cities, different states, even within the sneaker community.
Yeah.
So yeah, your honestly, your support is gonna come from 9 times out of 10 more from a stranger than someone in your own circle when you first started.
Oh man, listen, it's crazy, and like I said to you, I don't think it's they want you to fail, but it's more of like I don't want you to waste your time. But that's not the support you need at that time. Do you know what I mean? And it's strange, you get more love from strangers than you do your inner circle on certain things, and it's crazy because you think, I thought you'd have been there for me.
Yeah,
you'd have been my pillar, and it's a crazy thing to get around. You know, you're like, I'm getting more love from a guy I've never even met. What the hell? You know, I'm not even
and more
asking to
hate
buy
as
anything.
well. Like,
I'm glad you said
more hate as well.
Nah, I totally like 1000% understand, because like still to this day, my dad and my stepdad, they look at me and they were like, what you want to do in life? I was like this is literally what I told them. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber, but I want to be like, my main goal is I want to be the greatest sneakerhead hunter. Like, I want to go out there and get the shoes. Like, I don't want to order no more. I want to go out there and travel, get the shoe, find the most rarest things out there, like all that. Like, yes, it takes money, but over time I know I can get there, you know? And like still to this day, they look at me and they be like, how is that going to get you income? You're wasting more money. But you know, it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, like this shoe stuff, it was to the point where, like I said, addiction thing, it was to the point where it became my life. Like, I woke up every day, shoe. like when I literally when I first got in, it was shoe. I got to get this. It was to the point where I go maybe $20-$30 in my bank account because I spent all my money on the shoe, like that type of stuff. Until I get older, you have a family, you get somebody that you love, stuff like that. Then my priorities got straightened, my ducks got in a row, everything. But it was to the point where if it wasn't for shoes, like I'm pretty sure you guys will all agree, if it wasn't for shoes, man, like who knows where we'll really be at? You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Yeah, like this shoe stuff for me, it's more so like my option A. There's no option B. There's no option C. It's just option A. Like I love what I do. I literally wake up in the morning just to read about a shoe that I probably wouldn't buy because I really don't like it, but I would literally read about it just because I want to know the history behind it. I want to know stuff about it. So whenever that time does come, I can be prepared for anything. So like me,
I agree. I agree exactly what you're saying. And at the same time too, like it all comes down to this as well. Like I got this whole saying, God gives you a vision, and the vision sometimes isn't meant for everyone else to understand. It's literally only for you to walk that path. So like what you may see and have that vision in this place, it's only meant for you to go through. And I say go through it, bro. Like definitely do it.
Oh yeah.
I think that's in general, like with this podcast, we wouldn't all be sat here on a Tuesday recording this if it weren't for the fact of we all had the similar kind of love for like sneakers. And yeah, I think like for us, like especially like tonight, it's really been a pleasure to talk to you, Cammy. We'll call it a day for like tonight, but obviously hit us up on Reggie wants to ask his one question.
Go on, Reg.
Reggie asks it every week.
I got so into the episode today, but I forgot. Cammy, let me slide the camera over to you. Hey, I got two questions for you. That's technically one.
What's up?
Do you have a pair of New Balance, and do you like New Balances?
No, but yes. I don't have a pair of New Balances, but New Balance is having a phenomenal run this year as far as the designs.
Collabs.
Phenomenal run this year.
Are we talking about the collabs?
Both.
Oh, yeah.
Both. Collabs and the general releases. Nice.
Yes.
The bodegas was nasty. I liked them.
Like, where my baby at? Where my baby's at?
The bodegas you have. No, it's the bodegas you didn't get that I did. The 15 year. It's the ones you didn't get, Reggie. It's the ones I got.
Hey, I got a part of bodega. That's all that matters. Okay, that's all that matters.
It's the one that It's the one I don't have anymore because who needs it?
I do.
But no, really, honestly, Cammy, it's been great to talk to you. It's been great to honestly like just talk to you as a person.
Yeah.
Obviously, feel free hit us up on our DMs, and I'm sure Cammy would probably appreciate the same. For anyone that's listening, if you're interested in anything that he's doing, check out his stories and stuff like that. It makes for some great reading. We're not going to sit there and say he's done it for this person, this person, this person. Check it out yourself. But you got to meet Cammy, and that's the main important thing, and that's what we're here for. So, Cammy, if you could once more just shout out your bits, mate, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You can find me on Instagram. My name is Kami Ford, and if you got any ideas, sneakers, you need it, let me know. But this was a major blessing. I really appreciate this podcast. You guys are amazing. Seriously. Mad love to you guys.
Thank you. And so in order, Pat, shout out your bits.
So listen, it's been a pleasure, Cammy, man. Honestly, man, we hit up before the recording and during the recording, and it's just been a nice vibe. So thanks for coming on. We're not a massive podcast, but thanks for blessing us with you, man. So it's Patrick T on YouTube, Patrick T3 on Insta, and that's the only social I'm gonna say because my branding is all over the place. So that's me.
Aiden?
Yeah, it's Aiden from ACS Sneakers. Coming across a little bit philosophical today. Not enough trainer talk, but if you want to see more trainer talk, come check out my YouTube channel, ACS Sneakers. We're doing well over there, trying to hit 2K by the end of the year. So if you want to come check us out, check me out. And you can find me ACS Sneakers on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well.
Reggie appears to be on his phone.
Reggie's looking up himself again, isn't he?
Yeah, mate.
Typing up himself.
Trying on them bodegas, huh?
Yeah.
We'll shout your bits out, Reggie.
But nah, man. Hey, man. New Balance Prince, aka man Blazer Reggie. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube. It's a pleasure, man, to be here with you guys, especially Cammy, man. It's amazing. And for those who's watching this, I need you. Just a public announcement. For those who's watching this, I need you guys to go and buy this shoe. It's the UNC colorway of the New Balance 550 that's coming out next month. I need you guys to cop that pair in my size 10.5 or 11.
Oh, your size.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and then I'm going to do a live bending. But yeah,
Crease that shoe up.
you've been watching the Sneaker World Order SWO podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell notification, all those bits. I'm just a regular guy who gets to talk to all you guys and our guests literally every week. So I enjoy it. It's Ashley Clark, 5 for the S. So yeah, from us at Sneaker World Order, tune in again next week. Peace.
Peace.
It was-